Hello and welcome. My name is Melody from Melody Crochet, and this is episode 40 of the Melody Crochet podcast, where I come to you from my home in Texas and share what I've crocheted this last week. Welcome, hello. All of my social media is down below if you would like to connect. I would love that. And if you have any questions or comments, those are always welcome down below. I love the comment section. And thank you so much for all the love and support I got there last podcast. I'm really doing okay. It was crazy, but life, right? I'm enjoying a cup of, it's yogi tea, ginger. I hope it's on the tag because it was like 7 words. Oh, it says your great happiness is based on the warmth of your heart. Do you want to tell me what kind of tea is inside you? No? And it is spicy. I really like it. We joined the gym and I've been going, and turmeric is good for inflammation from what I've heard. So I'm going with that. I have made some stuff, I have bought some yarn, and I have some stuff I want to work on. It's probably going to be a pretty short, sweet podcast. So let's get started, shall we? First and foremost, I have an elephant in my room. You can't see it, but I love it. This is my Easter shawl, and I made it out of the jumbo ombre in Spring Meadow. For some reason, I was hardcore thinking burnout just right there. But it's the Patton's Jumbo in Spring Meadow Ombre. One ball. It's a massive ball of yarn though. It's a big old skein. I call this my Trinity Shawl. Those colors, I saw them. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I totally grabbed that. It says 100% acrylic, worsted weight in 4 bright colors. But it made me so happy. It just looks like an Easter basket. Look at the colors of Easter grass with some pastel pops in there, and I am a sucker for anything purple. So I had to have it. And since it's an Easter shawl, I made it in a Trinity shawl. I'll try and get the pattern up on my website. I just winged the whole thing. Is it a J? No, I used a K-hook. Here he is. He is one of the, let's see if I could cover my face. I'm using, usually I iPad it. If you're looking to podcast, I can't suggest the iPad more. It is highly forgiving. Come on. There he is. I was too close. But yeah, it's just my K-hook, my Clover Amour, and it worked really well on the acrylic. That was a triple really. That meant business. Everything about this, I went for the Trinity. I have 3 separate sections of granny. I use the Trinity stitch 2 times. That's the Trinity stitch. I love the Trinity stitch. It's fast and small and looks delicate, but it's super easy. And 3 tassels. That one needs to be trimmed. They're all the same length, but these are the ones that actually tied up my tassel, so you can tell he's taking full credit for the entire tassel right there. But I love it. It's pretty big. It's a full wingspan. I've grabbed other yarn at this point. That's not connected. There we go. It's a full wingspan. He took about, let's say, a night and a half. And just in case it's chilly around Easter, I'm set. Because right now we're doing all the Lent stuff. So I don't know what we'll name this. Something Eastery, Lenty related. Trinity, probably just Trinity Shawl. I'll make sure that's not already spoken for though. If you have any other suggestions, go ahead and put those down below. But I love it. It's loud. I get that. But I've never been accused of being a very mellow, quiet person. Have I? No. I'm not afraid of some bright pops of color and some heavy, hardcore acrylic wearing. Now, too warm for that right now though. We're having a bit of a warm spell here in Texas. I think it's in the mid 70s, and in the house it's even warmer. We're nursing a little sickie. Feel better, mister. You can play with that if you'd like. I had, after all the tassels were said and done, this much left of the yarn. 1 ball. So it was definitely, I want to say it was $6. It was on sale at Joann's, $6. Really quick workup because it was, like I said, worsted weight. I used my big old basket here and it was fabulous. I had the best time. It was the best distraction, and as most of you guys know, I needed the distraction last week. I don't know if we'd call this a finished object. I'm finished crocheting it, but I have not yet planted them. Remember, I was on a big kick to finish some cactuses. So I have finished the cactuses. And I got these over at Walmart. Is that not just the cutest little flower pot? I grabbed 3 of them. I don't know if I'll use 3 different ones or put a few cactuses in one and save the others for real flowers later. But I went ahead and I used my Impeccable in Fern and Arbor Rose. It says I had so much fun making cactuses, but these are all over because I used the same 2 balls of yarn for several projects of cactuses. So Fern got abused. Isn't he pretty? 100% acrylic, worsted weight, size 4, from Michaels. Impeccable. If you've shopped at Michaels, you probably know it well and good. Did you know they're up to about 72 colors total though? If you wanted to order online, you can order up to 72 colors. And I know I go to different Michaels and I see different collections of color, but I didn't know it added up to that many so far. That's crazy. This is my go-to for hats when it's cold also. Baby hats, even character hats on babies if I don't want to use Red Heart Super Saver. I can use Impeccable. It holds its body really well and washes up nicely. And it doesn't get too slack after a washing, but not quite as good as Red Heart Super Saver. But like I was saying, this is Arbor Rose, which is a color that I'm amazed if it photographs at all. If you look this up online, you will see such variation in color from the pictures of people's projects. You won't know what to order. This is showing up pretty true to color right there. It never does on the iPad though. I still love using the iPad though. I hardly use any of this because this was just the flowers. So I started off making a super simple little flower. So that's where we started in our whole project, right? And then I made, of course, this guy. He's open on the bottom because I don't mind closing him up. And then I put that little flower on top using the Arbor Rose. He's so cute. I think this was my favorite. Then I made a little succulent, which I figure can sit beside that free flower that I just showed you. There's my little succulent. I think this is a really loose interpretation of the one from Sewrella. I started off with the pattern of making a succulent from Sewrella, but this is a little, the yarn wasn't quite the same as hers, so it's acting differently, and I really wanted them to open up at the end, so I went wild. I think the last 2 rows, because this is all one long strand. It's a free pattern on Sewrella.com. Succulent crochet is probably the first thing you're going to see under Google is Sewrella's, because it's awesome and she advertises really, really well. But the last 2 rows were different. I went ahead and did some triple crochet instead of just double crochet, and I really think I like it better because they're supposed to have a gradient size. They're supposed to start off small and get bigger and be puffy. That's what succulents do, right? And one other one just for fun, I made a little pumpkin. How cute is it? So this makes me particularly happy. I'm not sure how we are going to set these all in there, but I will let you know next week how these all, I'm just going to put some clean rocks in there. We have clean rocks that we use in the backyard in case the dogs start trying to dig under the fence, this, that, or the other. So I got that going on. They'll just sit in there looking cute, doing their thing. So that is a finished crochet object, right? I'm going to say it counts because I'm not going to be crocheting on it anymore. We're just going to be hot gluing or something. And I use polyfill inside. I hope this isn't too crinkly. This is my favorite brand of polyfill. I get this over at Walmart. It costs about $4 and one bag lasts me a very long time. I'd say this is my 3rd or 4th bag ever in 10 years. So it lasts a while. And these bags are so fabulous that after that, I repurpose them and they house, sorry, I knocked you. After that, I repurpose them and they house my felt collection. So sometimes I like to just bust out with a big old bag of felt in all the colors for the kids and let them just sew up little dolls and such with the felt. So it's pretty cool. And that's housed in my last fluffy, I call it fluff, my last fluff. But it's polyester fill, polyfill. This was made from 2 balls of wool ease. I did a review on it. If you'd like to see that, go look below. I'll try and link. I'm trying to get my scrub. This is how much I had left from 2 balls of wool ease. from Lion Brand. Love woolies from Lion Brand. It's right up there for me with the Vanna's Choice if I want a little bit of wool, but it's vastly acrylic, so it's kind of warm and it's kind of soft and it's kind of woolly, but it's still very friendly to those who aren't used to taking care of wool, if you will. A gentleman friend of ours who we love very much in the game needed a scarf. I talked to you guys about this. It's got fluff. You okay? I don't want to pull, because with wool sometimes you're pulling like important stuff. I don't know. I think it's part of it. Gracious. But I went ahead and did a linen stitch. I added some, what do you call it, fringe. He was okay with fringe. I love a guy who's okay with fringe. He can trim it himself if he wants to. They're all about the same size. I used a lot less of it than I thought I would actually. There's my extras right here. So I used about half the fringe that I thought it would take because there's not a lot of places to add. But yeah, it's not too long of a scarf. He just wanted something to wrap around his neck, and he lives in a really cold climate, so I figure a nice woolly washable. He wanted a deeper gray than he had shown me. I'm thinking it's going to work out really well. So excited to get that in the mail for him. Hopefully, I don't know, I don't want to say hopefully it's still cold when it gets there, because that's not nice. I did a scrubby. I wanted to share because I had talked about this. I was not very descriptive. I think I take for granted some things that I think everybody does in crochet, and in this case it's make scrubbies out of tulle. So this is tulle. It's like that stuff that they make big, ballerina tutus out of. It looks like that on the tube. This is a really short tube of it though. Usually the tube will be twice as long, about 6 inches to 8 inches long. And this netting is there. Let's see if it'll focus on it for me. It's just like that really light tulle netting, which is awesome. This is actually though not too fabulous for it. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I'd never seen it in a 3-inch increment. I didn't love the strawberry pink, but it was the most desirable color that I could find. And I will show you guys how to work up what I did. But it's soft. So, and it lacked a whole lot of body. Where's my little friend? There's my little friend. So here's our end result. So I started making him on a J hook, and as cute as he is, and functional and useful, not super scrubby, unfortunately. I think it'll work, but I'm used to them being rather abrasive, like to the point where if you rub it on your hand it would hurt, and maybe after a while. But he also needed some help in the body department. Being half the width really did play into it. I used a smaller hook than I would have normally if it was twice the size, but it didn't make up for it, and it just was not working up into anything with body, and the stitches were so tight it was hard to find where to insert my hook. So I went ahead and added my Arbor rose. So I hardly used any. So this is the tulle held double with the Arbor rose yarn. The acrylic is nice for this because it will dry super fast, and so does the tulle because it's also a plasticky fake material. It doesn't hold water very much, and it's super cute. Double width, single crochet in the middle so that it would crease well. I'm pretty proud of it. I will definitely be making more. I might hold different colors of acrylic with the light pink. Well, I had bought a purple tube of the 6-inch wide tulle that I'm gonna use in addition to this. So then we'll be able to kind of compare and see how they bulk up. And I will do one held with the acrylic also, because I actually do like to do that quite often. Sometimes even with 2 threads if I have it a little bit extra, because a nice bulky scrubby makes me happy. Even though, like I said last time, they don't last forever. I wish they would. But unfortunately, if you have somebody use them on the wrong food, it gets gross and it stays gross. Oh well. And now for my in progress. Works in progress. I have one. I'm really getting to the point where right now I am starting and finishing things. I think that that comes from the fact that I do not have anything knitted on the needles, so to speak. It's very easy for me to pick up a crochet project and finish it, although I do need a small project, and I'll talk to you more about that, because I need something to do when I'm out and about. Like, I can't take this work in progress out and about too much because it's about to get massive. If this is living in, I should say, just for funny, a Build-A-Bear box. I know it's funny, but whenever we buy one, I love to use them as project boxes because they hold on to everything. You can feed the yarn through there. It sits on the floor. It's got good weight to it. If you get a Build-A-Bear in the near future, I highly suggest kidnapping that box. But what's inside the box? What's in the box? What is it? What's your guess? My son says it looks like the ocean. And I could see where he's going with that. Isn't that pretty? I love these colors. This is Red Heart Super Saver, and I decided for the yarn show that's coming up this weekend, DFW Fiber Fest, I need a rainbow crochet sweater. Not just any rainbow crochet sweater. I need a pastel rainbow crochet sweater. So this is the start of that. I am using a eye hook. Here he is. My tulip is going crazy. I started this last night, and ribbing is usually the slow part for me. So I got that. I'm giving each color about 5 to 6 inches, which is about 12 rows of half double crochet. This is the back of it. I'm just gonna be super simple. I cannot design a complicated sweater at this point, even though the rainbow totally makes me want to. I'm just taking it super simple. I did the measurements from a sweater that I already like, and we're just taking it from there. And this is going to be 26 inches long in the front and the back. Ooh, it's a tough cough. And then it's going to have 3 inches over the shoulder. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to take this all the way up and then continue in 2 pieces in the front, or if I'm going to make 3 separate pieces, 1, 2, and 1 in the back. We'll decide that when I hit the shoulder. Now, the other colors. So far, I have used Red Heart Super Saver in lemon, minty, and turquoise. I'm on my turquoise. This is all I've used so far, so I will have no problem. I got one ball of each color. If you aren't familiar with Red Heart Super Saver, it is worsted weight. You get, is it 5 ounces? No, you get 7 ounces. This is my tag for minty. They're all the same. And it's from China. You get 364 yards, 7 ounces, size 4, medium weight. They suggest an eye hook. That's what I'm using. So this is exactly the gauge they're suggesting. And if you were knitting, they'd want a size 8. Any other pertinent information? Oh, it's indestructible. It doesn't say that on here. It must be an oversight on their part. It's indestructible. It's the kind of thing that you make an Afghan out of, and then you know it's gonna last forever. So this is not gonna be the softest, smooshiest sweater in the world. I just want to wear a rainbow right now. That's all. That's the only thing I got going on. My son and Amber, the girl he's marrying, got me the prettiest Feel Better package, and in it was this sparkly, are you going to show your sparkles for me? This sparkly mandala. It is called Draco. I already know that because I was making fun of how un-Draco it actually looks. I hear Draco, I think dark, you know, maybe dragony, maybe something else, I don't know. But I hear Draco, and I don't think these colors, but I love these colors. So I'm thinking a tank top. I realize acrylic worsted weight tank tops seem a little counter to logic, but that's okay. They need to be worn. I'm just going to be covered in rainbows for the whole entire springtime. I'm okay with that too. But, oh, it's so pretty. And it makes me happy. So that's where that stands. So that's new to the stash. What else is new to the stash? I went out with said Amber yesterday. We went over to McKinney. If you've never been to Texas in this area, you're missing out on McKinney. And I ended up, after a really amazing lunch, going to McKinney Knittery, which is fabulous. Also, they have a new store, more yarn. I have put everything into storage, so this is my only sock yarn. And I need a sock yarn hat on the needles immediately, right away, now. So this is what I chose. This is Malabrigo in Indonesia. This is their sock base. Yes, their sock base. So it costs $19.15 or 50 cents. And would you look at those colors? Would you just look at those colors? It makes me happy. She wound it up for me, and I don't know if I should make it knitted or crocheted, but it needs to be on my head immediately. Or in about a year, because that's how long it's going to take me to make a sock weight hat. And I have no problem with that. That's the only reason I'm okay spending $19 on a ball of yarn, because I know this is going to be many, many hours of amusement during boring times of being in line, waiting for something in the car, even sometimes when I just need to keep my hands busy so that my brain can think. Like in church, I'll go ahead and I will use the yarn in my hands so that my head can pay attention, because idle hands, right? You don't want that. That's bad. So look at Indonesia. I've never seen it before. I am a follower of the Malabrigo and the Madelinetosh. These are not new to me. I've used them several times, but I have never seen Indonesia. This is just pretty. And if you'd like the stats on Malabrigo sock, you get 440 yards for 3.5 ounces, otherwise known as 100 grams of yarn. And they suggest using a 1 to 3 size needle, which is 2.25 to 2.5 millimeters. That is my next question. If I were to make a sock weight crochet hat, what size needle would I wear, or hook would I use? I might have to just be knitted, because honestly, I'm not sure how this little guy's color repeats would look crocheted, unless I did a double crochet so each one could really be shown off, because these quick color changes in crochet, they can tend to be a little blotchy, and I don't love that. It's not that other people's creations in that manner are not gorgeous, I just don't love it myself right on top of my head. So that's a new idea that I am letting soak in as I make my sweater. And I will be back probably tomorrow with my next yarn review. It's going to be on the Feels Like Butta, and there will be a swatch. Another thing I plan on doing this week is crochet baskets. I need to cover some crochet baskets in yarn. So if you have any suggestions on types of baskets that should be covered in yarn that you would like to see, or anything else Eastery that you would like to see, please share that in the comments down below. Let me know if you're making anything fun in particular. I love to hear what you guys are making. It's so inspiring. But I will see you on Instagram, and I'll see you here tomorrow. And if you have any questions or comments, please, please, please leave those down below. And as always, do me a favor and subscribe and like to this video if it's your cup of tea, so I know to keep making them. Take very good care. Have a big hug. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. It stopped recording. Where did you go?